Welcome back to Take Two Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing Star-Lord. Man, we finally got an MCU accurate Star-Lord. I'm a bit bummed out right off the back. They leaked a photo that's supposed to come with a Chris Pratt head, but it didn't. Just going to come with the mask, and I guess that's okay. I'm cool with it. But other than that, let's see what this box have to offer. And here they are out of the packaging, and man, I actually love these two figures. Now, Diamond Select has dropped the ball on some things, but I will get into that later. But overall, they look amazing. I love the sculpt on these two just by looking at it. But let's get into all the accessories. And actually, there's not that many accessories if you want to be real. Rocket comes with 2 guns, and Star-Lord comes with his 1 element gun, which is what I wanted to get into. Diamond Select only gave us 1 element gun. I don't know why they think that we just needed 1, or why we just have 1, but that's weird. Like, why do we only get 1 element gun? Anyway, but we only got 1, and Rocket comes with this gun right here, which looks fantastic, and this one right here. And it looks like they are like handmade guns that he made for himself. So actually looks pretty cool. Well, now that I have Rocket right here, let's get into his sculpt. And yeah, so like I said, Rocket looks amazing. I love it already. Better than the Marvel Legend one. Now what kind of bums me out is if you look inside of his mouth, it looks like you probably can't tell because it's shadow, but it looks like it has a hinge in his mouth. So you would think his mouth is articulate. It's not. His mouth is always open like that. So, yeah. So that's what it is. So, but the paint apps on this figure is amazing. I love it. I love the shading along his like bodysuit and things like that. His toes actually looks pretty nice, like actual rodent toes. So yeah, it looks good. You have a nice long tail. Now I don't remember if his tail is actually this long, if we want to be honest, but it doesn't bother me, to be honest. So but let's get into the articulation. So his head can go that far down, that far up, can do a 360. His mouth is not articulate, like I said before. Put this gun out. He can move his arm that way, single jointed elbows. You can twist his hand around. The legs can go that far out. Now be careful. Before this video, when I was playing with him, I actually took off this leg, so be careful. I don't know what is it, like Marvel Select figures are becoming like more and more fragile, so yeah, be careful out there, guys. Single jointed knees and ankle pivot, and I'm sorry, you can bend the ankle and then you can do also an ankle pivot. So a small ankle pivot. Oh, and his torso can go this side and kind of that side. It's weird. He can actually go on this side more than he does the other side. But he can move that far back and that far forward, and it's probably because of this backpack thing. So yeah. Okay, getting into Star-Lord. Another thing that bums me out, we did not get a Chris Pratt head. They teased. Okay, I take that back. It wasn't teased. They claim it was an accident. We were not supposed to see the Chris Pratt head in the first place. But we saw it anyway, so everybody got excited, and now we're like, man, why we didn't get a Chris Pratt head? So it was due to licensing. So I thought we were getting a Chris Pratt head, and it would have been awesome if we did. Because they actually like maybe like a minute and a half in this thing in the movies. So no, anyway, it would be nice to have the head. But other than that, the mask does look amazing. Now I wish it had a little bit more scuffs on it of some sort. It just looks like way too clean for Star-Lord, you know. But it does look good if you had to consider if it was like a brand new helmet or something. So maybe. So it looks good. Now another thing I've noticed that his neck is like orange. So maybe he got like a tan, like a reddish neck. Yeah, it's like this red tannish thing. So I don't know. Maybe he got a tan. The jacket is dope. I like the little shoulder pad thing right here. Like all the wrinkles around it. I wish, I know this usually don't happen with toys, but I wish he could take his jacket off and he just had on the shirt, just the blue shirt. That would have been awesome. His pants is really dope. I wish we can put our element guns in these, but you can't. So those are really nice, and his boots are actually pretty stellar. So but let's get into his articulation. So his head can go that far up, which is awesome, and that far down, which is awesome. Can go side to side. Arms can go all the way around. Single jointed. You can flick his wrist. Barely. He can go side to side. He can go that far forward and that far back. And be careful because there's like this gap when you do. He can kick his leg out that far and that far behind. Mid-thigh swivel, double jointed knees, ankle pivot, and also, but actually it don't, because this thing in the behind his boot, you can't point his toe. So yeah. Okay, so here he is next to the Age of Ultron Thor and the Doctor Strange from the MCU. So I feel like this is pretty accurate. Lately, Diamond Select has been making their figures quite short, but this one I feel like actually it's pretty accurate and pretty in scale with the other Marvel Selects. Okay, so here he is next to the Disney Store exclusive comic versions of Star-Lord and Rocket. I apologize for having that stand under the comic version of Star-Lord. His legs are really bad, and if you own this figure, everyone probably knows this. But his legs is terrible, so he cannot stand up on his own, so I had to put a stand under him. But if you take my word for it, they're just as tall. They're the same height. So if you have that figure, just know your Star-Lord, MCU version of Star-Lord will be just as tall. And also, it looks like the MCU Rocket is actually pretty tall, only because that other comic Rocket, his knees is a bit bent. So I think they're probably the same height if you straighten out his legs. Alright, and here he is next to Drax, MCU Drax. And here he is next to his partner, MCU Drax. Hopefully, prayerfully, we will get my guess we'll get an MCU Gamora during the Infinity War wave, and probably an adult Groot for Volume 3, whenever that comes out. Alright, so my final thoughts on this figure is it's amazing. I really like it. It's way better than the comic version, by both parts, and I'm really happy that I got this figure. I know the past couple reviews I wasn't really that excited, but I was really excited for this figure. If any figure that needs to be good, it has to be the Star-Lord one. So yeah, I am a bit bummed out that we didn't get another element gun and a Chris Pratt head. But other than that, I feel like it's still a pretty great figure. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you guys next time. I think my next review will be the Gladiator Hulk from Thor Ragnarok. So whenever that comes out, we'll have a review on that as well. Money is not as tight as it used to be anymore, so I should be getting these figures a bit faster, like near release date and stuff like that. So thank you guys for watching, thank you guys for hanging in there, and I'll see you guys next time.